think America's in a lot of trouble. I mean, I could understand why they voted. I'm not sympathetic with it, but I understand why, because there's an element of that person that represents success, and America loves success, and so they make that association. But there's no virtue there. There's nothing virtuous about that man whatsoever. He's delusional. He hasn't an idea to then turn around and call Zelensky a dictator. It's just appalling. And then the whole Gaza thing, which is absolute disgrace. It's a disgrace to upend all those people who have been through the most torturous time. Of course, Hamas did not help the situation right at the start. That was horrific and unforgivable, and I'm completely anti that. But the way it's gone on, and then to have him come up with, oh well, I'll make it into a sort of a kind of waterfront, what was it he wanted it to be, a sort of, I don't know, it was just ridiculous.
Yet he's been elected on a sort of a wave of changing the way the world is run and the kinds of people we have, and he is riding high because he's got a popular mandate, and he is elected. The world doesn't know, it seems, how to deal with him.
Well, the world doesn't really know who he is. I mean, they see something which is and again, it's all about illusion and delusion. And there's something illusory about him, but he is also deluded, clearly deluded. I mean, and what is so extraordinary is that some people can't see it. Some people believe that he is the savior in some way, and I'm just flabbergasted at how people view him.
So I'm interested in how you see it, because I think that's where you being an actor perhaps also comes in.
Yeah.
You have to judge characters. You have to judge characters on the page and by their actions. Or read characters rather than judge them. I mean...
Yeah, read is better than judge.
Yeah, I mean...
We don't judge, we read.
How do you see him with your skills?
Well, I see him in very much... almost in a reflection of our play. Terrifying father, tough time, alcoholic brother, saw his brother go down the road, and he decided, he had a survival instinct, which has come to the fore. But then goes with it a profound ignorance of the human state. A profound ignorance and a block off of I'm not going to take that. I'm not going to take that. I'm going to, and he talks about the deal. This whole thing about the deal, and it's got nothing to do with human beings. It's to do with businessmen. It's not about how life is led. It's not about how communities are created. They're not created on a deal. They're created by people coming together and saying, how do we make it better? How do we improve our conditions? And he has no sense of that. No sense of that whatsoever. About being in charge, and we see that all the time in the States.
Do you think that's what's going on here, that this is about authority? Because some people obviously say a lot of what Trump is addressing are real problems. It is true that Europe has been freeloading off America for security. There is perhaps truth in government spending in the US, and that these are real problems that he is tackling, and that's why he's popular.
Yeah, I can see that, but he kind of misses the issue, really, I think, big time. Clearly, the world has got to a state where democracy is failing miserably at the moment. But authoritarianism isn't the answer to that. We see it all the time. People are so marginalized, and it is to do with the fact that our world is so much changing. It is to do with the fact that people don't want to live under repression, so they move to find freedom, and therefore they become migrants, and therefore they get they get ostracized in that way. So it's like a dog chasing its own tail. I mean, I think that's a very good analogy for the world at the moment. It's like a dog chasing its own tail.